Hi everyone, welcome to the press conference. We're going to be going with Stuart Hogg first, and then I'll bring in Gregor Townsend. We'll split this up into two sections, broadcast and written, so we'll start off with broadcast, please. Do you have anyone on from broadcast who wants to ask a question? If not, we'll just move straight on to written.
Yeah, Michael.
Yep, on you go, Anthony.
Stuart, what are your reflections on the performance of the victory?
First of all, we're delighted with the win. I think for us, we want to come out here and put a true reflection, give a true reflection of ourselves, make sure that we give a professional performance. For large parts of that game, we've done exactly that. And then unfortunately, we kind of had a lapse in concentration every now and then, and it resulted in an early scoring points. So that's something we're quite frustrated about. But on the whole, pleasing to come away with a victory.
Your own perspective, you got a try. What did you make your own?
Look, I just wanted to go out there and express myself and do a job for the team. A lot's been said about my individual performance of late. It doesn't really bother me. I just need to keep knuckling down, working hard, and make sure that I contribute towards a team victory.
Any more questions in broadcast? Okay, we'll move on to written then. David Barnes, if you want to kick us off.
Sure, you're saying, you're obviously in disappointing aspects of the game, but 5 good tries out there, scored from deep, the kind of rugby you guys like to play. I mean, how important is that in terms of getting you guys back into kind of the flow that you want to be in?
Hugely important. I think for us, it gives us confidence that we can score tries from anywhere. I think other than Darcy's try, we didn't really build up many phases. We scored it on the back of counter-attack or, quick ball. It was only really Darcy's try that went through multi-phase and really made, Italy work hard in defence and for us to reload and get back in the game and really take it to them. So we showed all kind of aspects of our game. Obviously, ideally, we'd like to be in a position to go through multi-phase and have that clinical edge a little bit more, but we were put under pressure at times and we talked a lot about doing the simple things well. We were off our feet at the ruck a few times, and we've got a few jackal turnovers against us. So that's things that we want to try and tighten up on and be squeaky clean, and that allow us to get more momentum and really get into our multi-phase attack.
I mean, it was pretty touchy. There's a few penalties early on, a couple of unforced errors. I mean, you guys always talk positively. I mean, was the pressure on at the beginning there, and do you feel that you've kind of managed to relieve it, although you obviously want a bit more from your performance?
We knew fine well the first 20 minutes that they were going to be incredibly passionate about what they do, on the back of their anthem, on the back of the performance. Performances at home, they're going to be a different animal. So for us, we really wanted to kind of ride the storm and really take it to them. And I felt for periods of that we'd done exactly that, and then we started to come alive and attack. We kind of knew what their defence triggers were going to be, and fortunately we managed to pick up on those and really exploit them. So, I think we talked a lot about relieving pressure and applying as much pressure to the Italian side as we possibly could through our kicking game, and a couple of tries were built on the back of doing that. Creating counter-attack ball for us, unstructured defences, and that's where we got our change from. So, we're very pleased with it. We're very pleased, but the thing for us, we're a squad where we're at the minute. We demand, a lot more from ourselves, and to try and keep teams to, as the least amount of points as we possibly can. Credit to Italy that they got back into it and put us under pressure, but there's a couple of things when we look back that we kind of let ourselves down ever so slightly. But on the whole, very pleased.
Stuart, can I ask how pivotal was Ali Price's interception when you were under the cosh under your own line? Because it was really a 14-pointer, wasn't it? It turned the whole game at that point.
Well, I believe Ali done that for a reason. For me, he made a defensive read and he shot out the line and made it happen. So for us, we talked a lot about our work rate back and getting involved, and our hustle to make it incredibly difficult for the Italians, and to get back. I think we conceded maybe 40-50 yards on the back of that break, and then Ali's made a decision to go for it, and what a decision it has become. So that's what we're about. Boys working incredibly hard for each other, and you've got the licence to make these reads and go for these big plays. And for Ali, I thought he was absolutely outstanding for the whole time he was on the field. Live wire, kept kept the carrot in front of the donkey, you could say, with the kicking game, and really, asked a lot of questions of the Italian defence with his running game as well. So for him to win his 50th cap, incredibly proud of him, and to put in a performance like that was absolutely tremendous, and I'm really, really pleased for Ali.
Stuart, there was obviously so much talk in the build-up of Italy's record over the past few years, and would this be a game where Scotland slipped up? Despite the fact you've obviously played well, you've scored 5 tries, it's a bonus point victory. Did it feel at any point as though it was like almost like a hide into nothing?
I think for us, we wanted to really put our game on them for as long as we possibly could, and unfortunately we slipped up at vital moments of the game, and that's something that we'll look back on and be pretty frustrated about. But like they applied a huge amount of pressure to us, and as soon as they get on the front foot and we slip up ever so slightly defensively, they're a tough animal to stop. But yeah, again, when we look back, there's little moments when we dive into rucks, we don't quite get our fold right, or we don't get a dominant collision, and it's almost like a snowball effect. It's if and when, more than maybe, and that's the little things that we need to tighten up on, and our decision making, our ability to stay in every single moment of the game. I know it's spoken a lot, but it's massive in Test match rugby. You have to stay in every single passage of play, because you relax for the split second, and you're going to get hurt.
Questions, please. Okay, we'll split this up into 3 different sections, starting with broadcast, and then into written, and then we'll finish with a section for Monday's written journalists. So if we can start with broadcast, Anthony Brown, can you please kick us off with a question? Thank you.
Hi, Gregor. What are your reflections on the performance and the victory?
Yeah, delighted for the players to get a win away from home, to see the rewards of a real productive week, and very happy with the first 50 minutes. Italy, I thought, performed really well, and they were hard to break down, and they brought their own threats. But going into that final quarter with a good lead on the scoreboard, we were expecting to kick on even more in that final quarter. So credit to Italy for the way they played in the final quarter, but we'll look at ourselves and be disappointed we didn't build on that first really good 50, 60 minutes.
What did you make of Ali Price's performance?
Yeah, he was inspired. He obviously was playing on his 50th cap and got his hands on the ball, looked really sharp, created tries, kicked well too. Great to see him on such a big day play so well.
How important was it to get that win on the back of the last 2 games and just to set yourselves up for Dublin?
Yeah, really important. I think that this tournament is about winning, but you've got to learn at times as well. We learned from last week, and I felt that was reflected in how we managed the game, and our key decision makers controlled things really well. So that was pleasing, and the effort was there. Just the frustrating element being that final quarter where we didn't play as well as the previous 3 quarters.
Cheers.
Moving on to written now, please. David Barnes, if you want to kick us off.
On the spot there, Michael. Ali's, you mentioned Ali, but Ali's interception for the second try. I mean, how important a moment was that in the game, think, Gregor?
Yeah, important. But there's lots of moments in the game. We look back at opportunities maybe we didn't take, or opportunities that we denied Italy. So it was a proper test match right throughout the 80, but especially that first half. I felt Italy were innovative in their attack. They were trying to find ways around our defence through a kicking game. They were strong with their ball carries. They managed our kicking game pretty well at times. So it was a real good challenge for us, and we made the most of opportunities in the first half, and I felt we started to click in the second half, but we just didn't kick on once we got that 5th try.
Can I just check? There didn't seem to be any injuries, was there, Gregor, or anyone that you're concerned about?
No, Hamish had a bit of a whack in the nose, but he carried on, played 80 minutes, so I'm sure he'll be fine. Everyone else seemed okay.
Thanks.
Gregor, can I ask, the defence has lost a lot of points in the last couple of games. You've set your own standards in defence over the last couple of years. Are you concerned maybe that you're becoming a wee bit leaky in terms of points?
I wouldn't say the word's concerned. I'd say frustrated that we pride ourselves in how we defend, and we look at players that defend well. We trust our system and trust each other. And for a lot of that game, our defence looked not only in place, but it was forcing turnovers from Italy, who played well, I must add. So yeah, it is disappointing that we slipped off tackles in the last 15 minutes, and we gave Italy 2 tries and one right at the end. That's the final action and the final emotion you have in the game. Isn't a great one, but it'll drive us on next week to be better in Dublin.
Gregor, it was quite a strange game to watch in some respects. You were obviously winning quite comfortably at one point, but then Italy have come back into towards the end. What are your sort of main takeaways from that? And if you were scoring the performance out of 10, what sort of mark would you give it?
I'd probably score it much higher in the first half and begin the second half than we would in the final quarter of the game. And we have to work towards putting in 80-minute performances. A lot of the performance up to that 60-minute mark was good. Things that we worked on during the week. Players executing accurately, really working hard for each other, and getting 5 tries in an away venue. Like that's something I don't think I've been involved with a team that's done that away from home against a very good Italian side today. So they are all real positives to take. If we started poorly and finished like that, we'd be feeling a bit happier now. But we are frustrated as a coaching group that we didn't go all the way through to the 80-minute mark playing at that level.
There was obviously the moment for Chris Harris against France when on the cusp of half time he's chosen the wrong moment in terms of what pass to take. It's probably cost a try, but the fact that he's bounced back today with a big individual performance, that must say a lot about his character.
Yeah, it does, and he obviously was prominent in attack, but also defensively too. I think while we were disappointed with some aspects of the defence, he put in some really good tackles, forced Italy to go back inside at times and chase kicks well. So yeah, pleased for Chris and others in the team. Obviously, Ali in particular. He wasn't very happy with his performance against France, and it was a big day for him. So you got to rise to the occasion and make sure you deliver on what you're capable of, and he did that today.
Happy to move on to the Monday section now. Great.
Craig Hoggy seems to have had the bit between his teeth today. He was very deep, even after the game. He was really short in the moment. Are you impressed by his leadership today? And maybe going back to Ireland, you'll need it a bit more?
Yes, and also the collective leadership. We've obviously been on a journey of 4 games now, and we've learned things about ourselves as a leadership group, how we could do things better. And I felt Stuart and the other leaders this week really stepped up with their honesty, with what's required this week, and they were some of our better players in the game. I think we know leadership. The best way to influence your teammates is playing well, and they did that today.
Just a quick word about Ireland. They're 15-9 up against England, who got a player sent off in the first minute. So you can only assume maybe they're going to win it. I mean, obviously got huge respect for them, but I take it you know Scotland can win over there. You nearly did the last time when Stuart maybe dropped into the corner.
Yeah, we've been watching the game, so it's a proper test match, and England had a really good period there of 10-15 minutes, being a man down. So yeah, it'll be a game we'll watch closely this evening, but also tomorrow in preparation for next week. Like this is one of the biggest challenges you get in rugby, playing one of the top sides away from home. in a venue we've not done very well for a while, and we'll have to be better next week. But at least we go into the week with confidence on the back of a win. But we are very honest with each other that we'll have to be better to win in Dublin.
Cheers, Gregor. Good luck.
Thank you.
Gregor, from a coach's point of view, is there some sort of perversely useful that that the team fell away, maybe a wee bit complacent in the last 20 minutes? It gives you something to get your teeth into on Monday and Tuesday.
Maybe not. You got a grumpy coaching group tonight rather than one that's they should be happy with the result. So yeah, look, the players know themselves that we didn't perform as well into the final quarter, but credit must go to them for the work they put in before then. Matching a really good Italian side today. But the reality is next week, if we play like that, we've not got a chance of winning. So we're going to have to improve to be in a position where we can really challenge Ireland, stay in the fight, and create opportunities to go ahead of them.
You've got close to Ireland a couple of times in the past, kind of frustrating opposition, losing by a few points. Do you feel that this year you might be able to, you might have discovered something that could get you over the line?
We'll see. I think it'll be a much more open game than maybe games against Ireland in the past. They play a lot of rugby, so that could work in our favour, or it could put our defence under real pressure. So we know Ireland are very good in the contact area, very good set piece, and they've built this attacking game that is really threatening. But we've got to be able to match that and also create problems with their attack, the way we defend, and bring our own game to put them under pressure.
Last question.
Thank you.
Gregor, there's quite a lot of chat out there on social media and various people about Blair not being here because he's not had his booster jab. Are you able to say anything about that? And is it an issue? Is it a problem?
No, like I said the other day, it was personal reasons, so I don't think we should be commenting on anything about that.
Great, thanks everyone. Thanks guys. If you just want to move on to the next Zoom link, that'll be for more player access. Thank you.